So it turns out what Lily said about Jason is actually true. And Diane shows her ass. And let's just say somebody ends up dead. Let's talk. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box and in the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, before I get started with this review, let me send a special shout out to the GMHC crew, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you are in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMAC crew to get yourself a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call us at the GMAC crew to make a same-day appointment to come to our location to pick one up. And if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to us at the GMAC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRS TV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, subscribe to my Patreon today, Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you'll get all of my YouTube content as well as videos specifically for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So, subscribe to my Patreon today. Also, check out my YouTube partner, BK WorldTube, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like RuPaul's Drag Race to Love and Hip Hop. So after you watch this review, click that link in my description box or comment section to check out BK WorldTube. Now, this is The Oval Season 1, Episode 25. The name of this episode is One of Us, and this is part 2 of the season finale because the season finale was 2 hours. It was like a movie, and it was crazy. So let me begin. It picks up where it left off. Jason rapes Jean inside of his closet. He roughing her up, calling her a little bitch and everything. And he didn't even last 5 minutes. What the fuck you do? Take steroids? But yeah, that was fucking crazy. And I was like, wow. Lily called this shit out. Because she told Victoria, you need to get your son some therapy because serial killers start off as perverts. Because we literally see what he did was violent and it was nasty. And he's been, watching violent bondage porn, using his dad's Wi-Fi. And the fact that he would go and do something like this, and then he tries to calm her down that, my family has money, I can pay you money, just don't say anything, don't tell anyone. And he's like, just leave quietly. And I was just like, and Jean is just over it because she's already got that situation with Kyle, and then now she's been raped by the president's son. And all of a sudden, Jean started running. And I was like, Jean, why you do that, baby? Because next thing you know, he literally attacks her and chokes her out to the point that she's no longer moving. And then he was like, I didn't really want to do this again. I'm like, again? Serial killer. So, you've done this shit before. And I think it was back when they were when they were in the governor's mansion. He had did some shit. So we're starting to see that damn Jason is like a serial rapist as well as a serial killer. I mean, the question is, Did he kill Denise? He was with his grandmother at the time, but knowing that Jason, you never know. And besides, we still haven't found the sword yet. Hopefully by season 2, we'll find out who killed her ass. But he literally takes her body and stuffs her under his bed. And I'm like, you evil little shit. Like, you up in here Me Tooing women and shit. Crazy as hell. A straight up Me Too situation. And then all of a sudden Victoria comes in and says that your grandmother's here. Are you packed? And we see that Jason is shooken up because he done did the unthinkable. And then he keeps looking back and she was like, would you get the hell out of here? Go! But then she tells him that get Sam to come up here, whatever. I'm like, now that the children gone, she wants Sam to come up in there and, and play with her and shit. With her nasty ass. So then we see Donald and Diane. Diane is furious. She is pissed. She's like, are you fucking serious? He's gonna give her my job? That girl is younger than my daughter. And he's like, I'll talk to him. She's like, you better, after all the shit I got on him. He's like, are you threatening me? She's like, oh no, I'm just stating the facts. Everybody knows that he's a womanizer and that he's dumb as rocks and that he has the ego the size of Texas and his penis is the size of a thumbtack. And that him and his wife, they fight constantly and the kids hate them both. She's like, you got 24 hours to get this right. And he's like, you're serious? That seriously sounds like a threat. She says, it's a promise. 24 hours. I was like, Diane is about had it. Like, cause it is fucked up that she's got years of working in the public field, and this girl who's an aide who's still in college is becoming a new press secretary. So pretty much Victoria and Sam go to Gail's room to get her out the bathroom. Sam comes there with a key and he unlocks the door, and pretty much, she tells Victoria how much she hates her, and she's like, I'm not going. And Victoria told her, he will pick you up and take you down to your grandmother if he has to. But you could tell she continues to flirt with Sam. It was like, and she was like, do you have kids? And he was like, no, I don't. She's like, ooh, as sexy as you are, who could resist you? But she's like, but please stay close by in case things get out of hand. So then we see the aftermath of Ellie and Hunter. They done sexed each other up with their horny asses. She's like, wow, I should hire you. You're impressive. So pretty much she's like, well, since I'm the new press secretary, I got to get to work. And then Hunter is just sitting there with his shirt out. He don't want to do shit because Hunter don't give a damn. Hunter has just been put in that position. He don't even have the intelligentsia to run a country, let alone his own damn life. So he's just there. She's like, come on, get dressed. We got work to do. He's like, let's get yourself together before your wife shows up. And he was like, please, she ain't coming here. She's shaking in her boots because her mother's in town. And she's like, well, how's her mother like? She's like, the devil. He's like, and she's like, well, anyway. She's like, he's like, so when can I see you again? And her response is, I'll see you until I can't. And that was it. So she walks out, and Donald kind of looks at her like, you dirty bitch. And then Donald and Hunter go back and forth. Donald's like, I don't want to hear it. He's like, sir, you're making a mistake. Diane is really pissed off. And he's like, well, why don't you control her? She's your problem. You the one that hired her. And then, of course, that damn ego comes out with Hunter like, you don't remember who you're talking to. I'm not my wife. She's all bark. And he says, prepare the press briefing now. So he's like, I don't give a shit. She's the press secretary. Fuck you. It is what it is. And that was the end of that. So then we see that Priscilla and Sam have a showdown in the kitchen. And we see that, she's like, so what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm here, for the first lady in case she needs me. She's like, she seemed to call on you a lot. Yeah. And yet you got the man right next to you and you ain't calling on him enough. And then, of course, he's got an attitude because he's just like, he's just over Priscilla at this point. And she's like, what is this up with you that you want sex all of a sudden? Come on, we knew we couldn't do that with Nancy in the house. And he said, you weren't going to do it even if she wasn't there. And I'm like, true. And she's like, she's like, but you've been like this for months. I mean, what is really going on? The fact that you even asking that question, Priscilla, you deserve to get cheated on. Like, for real. And he just was like, you know what, just do your damn job. Because he just over her ass. Then we get the scene. Finally, Nancy finally goes into the house to talk to Richard. And then pretty much he's like, she pretty much, noticed that he done packed her shit and everything. Because Richard, even though Richard got shot, Richard's a soldier. So Richard works through pain. And she's like, what's this? And she's like, she's like, why are you here? If you're not going to be honest and tell me the truth, you can go back wherever the hell you came from. And again, she's like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, see, it's that shit that's getting you in some shit, Nancy, because you ain't being real. You the one up here doing the fucked up shit, and yet you still want to hold on to secrets and shit. But call yourself a Christian. You don't sit your ass down. And pretty much she's like, look, what about Leon? We need to bury him. And then pretty much she says that, well, until you can tell me everything, I don't want your ass here. And she's like, my money bought this house too. And he's like, yeah, but my money was faithful. And she's like, I'm not leaving. And he's like, okay, then I'm going to make your life here hell. She's like, is that what you really want to do? And he was like, you have no idea how low I can go. And then she's like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm like, no the hell you not, bitch. You about to see it. He about to show his ass. And he's about to give you the blues. And I must say, I don't feel sorry for you not one damn bit, Nancy. So then we get one of my scenes where Jason and Gail and Victoria are waiting for Maude to show up. And Maude comes in there showing her wicked royal ass, y'all. And if anything, Victoria can definitely tell something's wrong with Jason. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because he got a whole situation that he shoved up under his bed. And immediately as soon as Maude walks in, she starts throwing shade at Victoria. She's like, Mother, you look well. She's like, yeah, darling, but you don't look well. Well, I guess it's the best that you could do, obviously. I was like, damn! No wonder why Victoria's a bitch. Her mother be giving her the blues. And she's like, well, how are you, Mother? She's like, annoyed that I had to come here. And pretty much, so tell me what's going on. And of course, Gail's talking her shit, and Victoria's trying to like, no, let her speak. And she pretty much says that I'm emancipating from this family. Oh, it sounds like something like you did, Victoria. And then what we do, we got you in line. And she's like, yes, it did. It? She's like, you mother, you got me in line. It's like every time she's around her mother, she turns into a 3-year-old girl. It's crazy. Um, she's like, yeah, and just like I went through that treatment with you, I will do the same for these bundles of joy. I was like, oh God. And then Gail keeps talking shit. She's like, now, honey, the more you speak, the harsher will be your punishment for you and your brother. And then Jason's like, but what? I didn't do anything. He's like, oh, remember that incident under the table? I didn't forget about that. So she pretty much says that they're going to go to the country house and they're going to fish and they're going to go boating and doing all this stuff. No one's a damn lie. She's going to torture the hell out of them damn kids. And they pretty much go off into the car. And then, Victoria tells her mother, oh, thank you. Thank you for taking them. And then Mom was like, do you know how to do anything right? I'm supposed to have been living my days in peace. And yet, I'm here, still cleaning up your shit. You're such a disappointment to me. And she's like, I'll deal with these things you call children, and then I'll be back to deal with you. I was like, oh shit, Maud is evil as fuck. And then you literally saw Victoria sit down like this little girl whose heart's been taken from her. Like, her mother scares the living shit out of her. And it explains why she's so evil. I mean, look who raised her. Her mother don't give a damn about her. And I'm like, you talking about cleaning up her shit? You put her in the shit. Victoria never had a normal life. It explains why she's so screwed up. So then we see, pretty much Priscilla comes in, the kitchen talking about Maud. Ooh, it's just chilly when she comes in. It's so chilly when she came up in here. And then Sam was like, don't make fun of them. And she's like, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you while you like this. And then all of a sudden, Victoria calls for Sam, and then Priscilla's like, your girlfriend's calling you. I'm like, Priscilla, I wouldn't be too cute, because she that close to giving him something he can feel. Like the song, while you up in here talking about sleeping cold showers. Yeah, Priscilla, you feeling yourself way too fucking much. See, you got some of these people who get in relationships and they start getting comfortable thinking that they person ain't gonna cheat on them. But I'm like, boo boo, if you're not fulfilling those desires, you're leaving room for someone else to fill them for you. And trust me, that damn hot box Victoria is open and willing, bitch. And you know it, and yet you got a nerve to be cracking jokes? Ciao. So then, we get this scene between Victoria and Sam, and she's like, you're relieved. I don't need you at this time. This time. So she letting me know, I'm gonna need you, just not right now. And pretty much, he talks about, they get past it, and she's like, what do you mean? It's like the rebellious stages. They'll get past it. And she's like, yeah, and then she starts talking about something. I just feel like running. I'm like, yeah, because she's trapped in that life just as much as those kids are. And that's why Gail's trying to get away. But shit, they like, fuck it. If I can't leave, your ass can't leave. What the hell? Like, that whole family is controlled by Victoria's parents. So then Barry is at this location, watching these Rakadouchis. He pretty much talks to Sam on the phone, and Sam's like, you wanted to talk to me? He's like, yeah, but I told you I wanted to talk to you in person. And Next thing you know, after he talks to Sam, Barry gets out the car. He starts running towards the Rakadushis. They all disperse, but he grabs one, and it's Ruth. And he's asking Ruth, "Where's my daughter? Where's our daughter at?" And Ruth tells him that the highest has her. If y'all watch Ruthless, y'all know about the highest. And she's like, "Where are they?" She's like, "I can't tell you." And he's like, "We're going to the police." So he grabs her up, and she's hollering and screaming, and she's like, and he's telling everybody, "Do something, do something." And I'm like, "Oh shit, Barry, you're about to put yourself into some more shit." And puts her in the car and was like, "Shut up." I was like, damn, Barry is not gonna stop until he finds his daughter, and he's being reckless yet again. But I'm like, Barry, this might actually work against you. Your ass just got out of jail, and now you coming up in there with some more shit. But we're gonna see how that's gonna play out in season 2. So then we get this scene where Victoria summons Sam yet again, and this time she's wearing negligee, and she's like, "Ooh, look at my body. Ooh, doesn't it look like I work out?" And she's like, "I like to run. Could you arrange that?" And then the next thing you know, she wraps her leg around damn Sam. And then after a while, she is like, "Ooh, you have the nicest ass. Touch me." And she's like, "Ooh, you're hard. You're much bigger than I thought." And then starts going down. And I'm like, see, that's where Jason get that sick shit from. He get that sick shit from Victoria. You know, Hunter got his ways too. But that damn creepy, throwing yourself on the people, just like what we saw what Jason did with Jean. Yeah, he gets that shit from his mother. Because she did the same shit to Max. She starts trying to go down on him, starts tasting him and everything. And then she's like, "What's wrong? Don't you want to fuck the first lady? Come on, put it in me right quick. No one will know." And he's like, "I will know." So even in the midst of that temptation, he still rejected her. But if Sam would have went all the way, I would not have blamed him. Even though it would have been not the right thing to do. But then again, I would not have blamed him, because hell, your wife ain't trying to touch you. She ain't trying to give you something you can feel. She ain't giving you the red light special like she's supposed to. So then we saw all that go on. So then we see that Diane is on the phone. She got the DNA results because she's a grimy bitch, and she's got an axe to grind now. So then all of a sudden Ellie comes in with the box like, "Could you please just grab your things and get up out of my space? You're at my desk now." And Diana's like, "Little girl, do you have any idea who I am?" And Ellie was like, "Yes, an old, unemployed bitch." Like, Ellie was feeling herself, young. And she's like, "Huh, you think you're real smart, don't you, little girl? Getting on your knees, that job is easy. But the brains of how to do it is another." And then she was like, "You old trifling hood rat," and all this shit. Then pretty much Diane runs into Donald, and she's like, "He gave the job to Ellie." She's like, "But that's okay, I'm leaving." And then all of a sudden, Donald was like, the exit this way." Oh, Miss Diane goes into the press conference, the press hearing, and she starts to tell everything. She was like, "Oh, I've been fired, and my aide has been hired in my place. I guess she gave good head." And then also, there was some underwear that I found in the Oval Office, and it belonged to the woman that was killed, and the two agents, one that was dead and one that's in intensive care, were also involved with her. But I got the DNA sample on those underwear. One belonged to the female, and the fact that those underwear was in the Oval Office, you know who else DNA was in that underwear. And then pretty much, she says, Ellie, why don't you come upstage and actually show how you got that job? Show us how well you swallow, to get my job. And here's my mic. Oh, you don't want to use my mic? Oh, I guess you only saved that for the president, huh? And then all of a sudden she's like, mic drop. And Hunter, with his simple ass, because he heard everything in the Oval Office, Hunter starts charging down the damn hallway, about to go after her. I'm like, dude, Hunter is so damn simple. Do you know we're acting like that? That would have ruined your presidency, because you would have told on your damn self. But she went the fuck off. Talked about the affair, talked about the two agents dying, and pretty much says that, if I end up dead somewhere, this administration has something to do with it. Like, she went the fuck in. And she's like, mic drop, bitches, and left. And then Hunter takes it out on Donald. He blames him for this, like, she was a rat. And you hired her. You're fired. Yeah, you're fired, and you can take that bitch with you. I'm like, really, Hunter? She grimy as fuck. I'll give you that. But she was hired to protect you, and she's been protecting you all this time. But once you chose to promote Ellie over her, she's like, fuck this. I'm gonna tell every damn thing. And that's what happened. Then after Donald feels hurt because he done got fired as chief of staff, Kyle, stand by your man, goes up in there and tells Hunter, don't fire him. He can spin this. He fights very hard for you, and he has always protected you. And then he pretty much convinces Hunter, okay, fine, Donald's not fired. So then we see Alan confronts Ellie at the office. He's like, how the hell did you get this job? And she's like, look, I told you what I had to do. Like, no, you didn't. Like, seriously, how the hell does this happen? You're an aide and now you're the damn press secretary? What did you do to get this job? She bobbed and weaved, and she used her steed. That's what she did. And then all of a sudden, Donald comes in, and he's like, Alan, what are you doing here? And then all of a sudden she's like, where do you think you're going? She's like, I'm gonna go out here and clean this mess up. And he's like, you're not doing anything, and you're not going out there at all. And then she's like, she hands him a paper, and he's like, what is this? She was like, it's her medical records. She's on antidepressants, she's bipolar, and she smokes pot. And he's like, how the hell did you get this? She's like, I'm her assistant. I know everything about the bitch. And she's like, now, excuse me, I got to talk to the press. And he's like, oh, no. You are not ready. She looked at him and was like, I was born ready. And she goes out there, smooths the situation, says that Diane is being seen, by the doctors in the White House. And, what she said was out of control because she suffers from mental illness. She plays it up. And we see Cal and Donald like, you got your job back, Donald. And he was like, how the hell did you manage that? He says, well, I do got a sore throat. And then Donald's like, don't play with me like that. He's like, and then Cal's like, she's doing pretty good, ain't she? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, can I see you later? And then that damn Donald's like, most definitely. I'm like, you little nasty bitches. Them two motherfuckers are evil as hell. So then we see Laura, the one of the maids, is looking for Jean, and she's not answering her pages or anything. So Priscilla pretty much tells her, like, if I hear anything, I'll get back to you with that. Then all of a sudden, we see, Victoria had, like, literally put it on Sam, and, Sam ends up leaving, and then when Sam gets out the door, here come Priscilla, you know, and he's like literally hiding himself like a little boy who done wee-weed on himself. He's literally hiding, because he's still solid as a rock. Like, literally. And Priscilla's like, I'm so sorry. I was being really selfish, but I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to cook you a good meal. Fuck cooking him a good meal. He just want to see you strip. That's what he want. He want the red light special, bitch. Like, girl, you cook for a living. He love your cooking. The White House loves your cooking. He wants something that you ain't doing. He wants a show. And then she all telling us I'm going to cook you a good meal. Sam! Because Sam ain't responding to it. He's like, Sam! And he turns around and it's like, eggplant! And she's like, oh, what the fuck? And he literally rushes her off. And that's where that ended. So season 2, there's going to be some shit with Priscilla and Sam's relationship. But Priscilla, a lot of this is your doing, because if you were satisfying your man, old tramp ass first lady wouldn't have had a chance. Then Laura goes into Jason's room, and she knows that's the last place Jean was, and she's like, oh my god, this girl didn't even clean this room. She looks on the bed and finds Jean, and Jean is dead. And immediately Laura starts screaming, and that was the end of the episode. So it's about to be some shit when season 2 comes back, and it returns on February 16th, and I am so here for it. But that's what I got, y'all. Season 1 was everything. I'm a huge fan of this show, and I can't wait for the show to come back. But if I missed anything, get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.